What is moving and shaking, my friends at Powur? It's JB, and I have an important training video I want to cut for everybody today. You see, over the last month, we have started to light up markets all over the country on a pretty unprecedented scale. I don't really know of any other company that's expanded as quickly into additional territories, new territories, as we have. It is really on the frontier of solar energy and solar energy adoption and acquiring customers and introducing zero down solar to customers and as many new markets as quickly as we are. And that creates a constant learning environment. And every time we take steps forward, we learn, and we get to refine our processes and refine our practices even better. And so one of the things that I want to discuss in this video, this is really a training video, okay? I want everybody paying attention because this is a training video. And I'm going to share exactly how to get better conversion rates by actually laser targeting the sales message in every market that we're entering into. And, I'll start by sharing one of our big lessons as a company. We've kind of had a one-size-fits-all script. And what you're about to see from a training perspective is that it's not exactly one size fits all. And we're going to revamp some of our front end training and our value proposition and how we sell so that we can dial in our conversions and have better conversions and set better expectations in every market. Let me give you an example of what I mean. In our tier one markets, there's a different value proposition that we can go to our end customers with. And the reason why is that tier one markets have the highest cost for energy in the United States. That's why they're tier one markets, because they have the highest cost of energy, you can charge the most money for solar, and that's where the biggest commissions exist. In tier two markets and tier three markets, that starts to scale down a little bit. Tier two, it's starting to be more competitive with energy rates in that market. In tier three, it's really competitive with energy rates in that market. Now here's the beauty. There's a phenomenal value proposition for solar no matter what. It's just a subtle change in how we position and how we sell and how we refer in those markets. And I'm gonna give you that subtle change right now so that you can start to dial this conversation in. My goal is that you become a maximum professional at solar energy, a maximum professional. And in every single one of these markets, whether it's tier one, tier two, tier three, there's huge solar growth happening. There's billions of dollars changing hands. It has nothing to do with is the money there and are the sales there. It has everything to do with simply becoming a professional in how you explain the product and get inside people's heads. And I'm going to give you an analogy and a story of things that I'm working right now and some tools for you guys to use. And I'm going to give you the exact pitch to use in these markets. So in a tier one market, we can go in and we can say essentially this pitch, right? These are the value, this is the value proposition, this is the benefit for homeowners. Hey, if I could show you how to save, 10 to 30% off your energy bills today, tens of thousands of dollars over the long term, increase the value of your home, be energy independent, be green, and have it not cost you $1 out of pocket, would you be interested in a free consultation? You'd have to be insane to say no to that, right? That's our pitch in a tier one market. I'm going to repeat it one more time. If I could show you how to save 10 to 30% off your energy bills today, tens of thousands of dollars over the long term, be energy independent, be green, and not have it cost you $1 out of pocket, would you be interested in a free consultation? That's the tier one pitch. Now let me show you the tier two and the tier three pitch. It's a subtle difference, but it's actually just as powerful. So here's the pitch for tier two and tier three. If I could show you how to save money today, pay a little less than the energy bills that you currently have, but save tens of thousands of dollars over the long term, be energy independent, be green, and not have it cost you $1 out of pocket, would you be interested in a free consultation? It's just that subtle little shift that can make all the difference. Because the reality is, guys, when we have to come in and we have to compete against 9-cent power or 10-cent power, like we're competing against in a lot of our Florida markets and Texas markets, and some of these new markets we're opening with really cheap power in the Midwest and whatever else, then what we're doing is we're coming in and we're optimizing our zero down financing so that we can save them a little money today. It might be 5%, it might be 10%, but it's really the long-term savings of tens of thousands of dollars when their loan is paid off and when they no longer have any energy payments, and as the utility rates continue to rise and all that good stuff. That's the huge money savings. It's actually owning your own system, paying that system off and never paying for energy again, and saving tens and tens of thousands of dollars over the long term. Plus, it's not just the savings today. You have to understand there's so many reasons why homeowners go solar. They want a quality of life experience. Imagine, when you're not worried about turning off the lights or turning off the air conditioner or whatever it is, because you know what your energy costs are going to be. You're producing your own energy from your rooftop. You're not worried about, oh God, I'm going to get hit with this, massive utility bill. You know what it's going to be. That's a quality of life thing. Energy independence, that's a quality of life thing. Being able to say, I produce my own energy, being green, that's a quality of life thing. The savings long term, that's even better. So we've got to understand that there's nuanced ways to sell in all of these markets. Now, the second thing that I want to really share with you guys is more so this is really how you become a professional. It's the difference between people who are having high quality conversion rates off every lead they submit and people who are submitting leads and those leads aren't turning to appointments or sales. And I'll tell you the difference in the mindset. The first mindset is taking real ownership that people understand solar. That a light bulb goes off in their head before we submit the lead, that they understand the value proposition, that they understand the difference between continuing to pay their utility forever and owning their own power, financing it, and saving tons of money. The second mindset is really just trying to throw mud at the wall, okay? It's like, I'm just going to try to get in as many leads as I can and dump them into the system, and I'm going to hope that somebody else does my job for me of educating these people. That's not the right way to do this, guys. That's not what's going to work. Nobody's going to do your job for you of educating your homeowners. It's your job to become a professional. It's your job to educate. It's your job to build awareness. That is literally the value of Powur. That is the value of our channel. It's the value of direct sales. It's the value of network marketing. We are the educators. We are the awareness makers, okay? And if you think you're just going to, path of least resistance, I'm just going to collect a little bit of information and not try to do anything and send it over, I'm telling you right now, your leads aren't going to convert. And worse, the providers aren't going to like you because you're not really doing your job and you're not being a professional. Thankfully, that's not most people. But I want to give you guys an example so you can really ingrain this in your head and understand it, okay? So the other day, I reached out to a friend that I grew up with. So a good friend of mine, went to school together, grew up together. And I sent him a text and I was like, hey, buddy, just started my solar business and we're getting people quotes all over the country to save money, yada, 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 right? Hey, let me know if you would be interested in a free proposal. I don't hear nothing back from him, right? So 2 days later, I send him the video. I send him our solar video, which explains the value proposition. And I was joking with him and I was like, maybe you need to see me on camera yelling at you or something like that, and I did some smiley faces. I sent the video and I said, let me know when you got a minute to talk. So he sends me back the text and he says, haha, sorry, buddy, just been so busy. Yeah, sure, whatever, get me a quote. So I can obviously tell that, he doesn't understand. He didn't really get it. And even if I submitted his information for a quote, it wasn't going to turn into anything. So I got his information, I got his name, I got his address, his utility bill, I collected it all. And then I said, awesome, man, but before I get you a quote, let me know when you have, 10 minutes to chat just so I can walk you through what this really means. Because I knew even if I submitted it right then and connected him to the provider or whatever, he didn't get it, right? So we hop on the phone and what we do, I'm literally doing surgery, okay? I'm understanding that I have to be able to do surgery on his brain so that he really understands solar or it's not going to turn into anything. So I asked him, hey, so you get how solar works, right? And I know he doesn't, but I just wanted to hear, the answer to his question because it opens it up for me to explain everything. So then I start, he says, yeah, I think so, blah, 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 whatever. And I start explaining, well, here's the analogy I gave him. And I want you to take this analogy down. Right? You know how the power company charges you for your electricity right now, right? And he's like, I guess. Here's what they do. They create electricity at cost, okay? So they produce electricity, and then they charge you a massive premium for that electricity. You're paying for the power lines, you're paying for the employees to manage those power lines, you're paying for the $25 million CEO of the utility company bonus every year, you're paying for all this sort of stuff, so you're paying a massive premium. The power company creates that electricity, then they charge you a huge premium to get that electricity to your home. So what a solar system allows you to do is you can actually create your own electricity at cost. There's no premium, there's no nothing. You can essentially build your own power plant by taking advantage of the real estate on your rooftop, and you can generate your own electricity at cost, okay? It doesn't have to go anywhere. It goes straight from your rooftop into your home. What's even better is that you can finance that system so that you spend less than your monthly utility bill today. So you're saving money day number one, and once the financing is paid off through a low interest rate loan, you never pay for electricity again. So you save tens and tens of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of this system. It's like an absolute no-brainer. And all of a sudden, you could hear the light bulbs going off. And I'm like, so are you interested in that? Are you interested in looking at a proposal to see if it actually works for you so you could finance this yourself, produce your own electricity at cost, get rid of these crazy premiums you're paying your utility, own your power, and save tens of thousands of dollars over the long term? And all of a sudden, that went from a lead who was probably not going to turn into anything to somebody who's genuinely going to be paying attention when they receive that proposal and genuinely going to be interested, and now is probably even excited about getting that proposal from our solar company. Guys and gals, that's the difference between leads you submit that convert and turn into installations and leads that don't. If you are not making sure your customers understand that simple analogy, that I'm getting ripped off, paying a premium on all of my utility bills that I spend today, paying a premium on all of that energy I'm paying for, infrastructure, bonuses, all this stuff. And I can actually produce my own energy at cost, finance it through a low interest rate loan, and save tens of thousands of dollars when that loan is paid off. Once they get that, once they understand that, that is the only time you should do the live transfer. That's when you live transfer them into the provider and you set them up for the appointment. And guess what? You are going to have record conversion rates of live transfers to appointments and record conversion rates of appointments to contracts. And you're going to be cashing installation checks. You're going to be teaching your team how to cash installation checks. And you're going to be one of the people that wins and makes a ton of freaking money off solar as millions of customers sign up around the country. Don't shortcut it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this video is about being a professional. It's about not shortcutting. It's about knowing how to refer in a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3 market. It's about modifying your pitch in the front end. Hey, how would you like to save a little money today on your utility bills, but tens of thousands of dollars over the long term without it costing you a dime out of pocket? Right? That's our pitch, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 is, hey, how would you like to save 10 to 30% today, tens of thousands of dollars long term, and not have it cost you a dime out of pocket? And making sure that before you do that live transfer, you've shared with them that analogy. They understand how solar is going to save them money, how financing works, and they're excited for that proposal. You do those two things, ladies and gentlemen, and you teach your team to duplicate those two things, and I'm telling you, that's how you own your share of the solar industry. That's how you become a professional, and those are the only two damn things we need to master. I mean, seriously, as an advisor, we're not doing the sale, we're not doing the installation, we're not doing contracts, we're not doing any of that. All we're literally doing is
getting somebody interested enough and then having a 10-minute conversation to educate them on how it actually works and live transferring them to providers. We have the money model in solar. The least amount of work with a huge amount of upside. We're getting a piece of every freaking deal, and you're getting a piece of every deal in your team. Seriously, you're going to come to understand that our model is probably the most profitable model existing in all of solar right now, because we have such little work that we do for such big upside, and we have 29 different states that we're already in. I mean, it's insane. So I know this was a long video, but it was an important training video. Watch this as many times as you need. Share this with your teams. Get this ingrained in your DNA. Understand this. Become a freaking pro. Take responsibility for your conversion rates. If you submit 10 leads and you don't have at least 3 to 4 that have gone to appointment, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. It's on you. If you've submitted 20 leads and you don't have at least, 8 appointments, that's on you. You should have 2 contracts, 8 appointments. You should freaking have, $1,000, $1,500 profit from those 20 leads. And if you don't, it's on you. And it's your job to take responsibility for it. It's your job to teach your teams to take responsibility for it. And that's how we become warriors. And that's how we own solar. And it's how we add value to the entire solar marketplace. I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.